Hello again from Central Virginia, and welcome to my porch for another bit of cooking. Today I'm going to talk about one way to preserve cucumbers, and that is to ferment them and make traditional kosher dills, a fermented dill. Fermenting foods is a great way to help your overall health and your gut health. I'm not a doctor, don't pretend to be a doctor, but I do know that eating many fermented foods can really help your gut biome be its optimal best. So I do make pickles in many different ways, but I always have a ferment or two going in my refrigerator. So today it's going to be dill pickles, and here's how you do it. To make your most basic ferments for these pickles, all you need is about 1¼ pounds of cucumbers and 1¾ tablespoon of non-iodized salt. That's pickling salt in here. Kosher salt also works. So that's really all you need for the basics. But of course, you know me, I'm going to add some things. I'm going to add about 5 cloves of garlic. I'm going to add some mustard seeds. I've got dill because you need dill. And I don't have any of my fresh dill right now, so I'm just using dill seed. And I have a dried cayenne pepper. And I also have some grape leaves. The grape leaves are optional. You can also use blackberry leaves as well, but this helps keep your pickles more crisp. It has tannin in it. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a very simple process. The first thing I'm going to do is make my brine. All right, I have measured out here 2½ cups of water, and I'm going to add into that 1¾ tablespoon of salt. I'm going to stir this up well to dissolve the salt. What you want to do is to cut the blossom end off. Now, how do you know which end is that? You can see where the stem was right here. You can leave that and just cut about 1/4 of an inch of the bottom part of the cucumber off. That's going to keep it from getting mushy. It's also going to, that's where most of the bitterness comes from in a cucumber. Here's the stem end. Here's the blossom end. I have washed my cucumbers well. I've also washed my hands well. I've also washed my grape leaves very, very well. I've got my jar. You don't have to sterilize your jars, but you should wash them out really, really well. First thing I'm going to do is take my grape leaf, my washed grape leaves. I'm going to put one down like that. On another end, the bottom of the pan. Oh, I forgot to crush my garlic. I need to peel my garlic. Silly me. And just drop the whole cloves right in there. You can use no garlic. I like to use about 5 to 6 per quart. I'm also going to throw in my hot peppers. I'm going to take 2 teaspoons full of the dill seeds. If you have fresh dill, just take the top of the dill flower, the blossom that has the seeds in it. I don't have mine right now. I'm also going to use some mustard seeds, whole mustard seeds. I think it gives it just a little bit of pep and zest. I'll put in about 1/2 teaspoon of that. I add some black peppercorns as well, just a pinch. All right. See how simple this is? And those companies that sell you fermented things you pay so much money. Of course, it is a process and things can go wrong, but generally speaking, it's not rocket science. So you just start packing your cucumbers in as best you possibly can. That one's a big fatso. Ipso fatso. Pack them in tight. Maybe this one will go in. I might have to cut some of these into spears. Like this one, I'm just going to go and cut into half so I can pack right down in there. There we go. Pack them, pack them. Okay, that's good. I am using pickling cucumbers. You really can use just about any kind of cucumber that you want to use. And I'm just going to put some chunks in on the side here. You want to leave space at the top, see, because you're going to have to weight down the vegetables. I'm just going to pour this over top. All right, see how it's floating up? Well, you don't want it to float up. The next process thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take another grape leaf And I'm going to put it down on top here of the fruit. Pack it in there, get all the air bubbles out. I'm going to put a weight in here. This is what's called a pickling weight. And I'm just going to wipe the rim. This is an airlock, which is going to let the gases release. And I just seal it with a ring seal. Just like that. But you want to make sure that you have some headspace in the jar because it's going to bubble up, and that's part of the fun of the process. You can see how the water line is down just underneath that glass weight, and that's just fine. So the next thing I'm going to do is set these in a room where the temperature is relatively consistent. Somewhere between 65 and 70 degrees is ideal. And I will let them sit there. They'll begin to bubble. You'll see stuff. If you check and you see foam on top, you can take that off and just skim it off if you want. It's not harmful and it won't hurt your pickles. You're just going to let these sit. I usually let mine ferment for about 2 to 3 weeks. I check them after 2 weeks, see how they're doing. When the bubbling stops and you're ready and they taste like you want them to taste, you just take off the airlock, put on a top, and stick them in the fridge. These are not shelf stable, meaning you can't keep them on a shelf. You've got to refrigerate them once they're done. So that's all it takes to make fermented dill pickles. See how easy it is? So check back for more videos on how to use your garden produce, how to make simple home ferments, and other recipes as well. I love to garden. I love to cook. And if those are your passions, this might be a channel for you. So I invite you to subscribe. Check back later. Thanks for watching. Bye.